This video will review the Analytical Writing Rubric. Please take a moment to open your copy of the rubric in another tab or grab a hard copy to take notes on. Here is our writing rubric. There are 7 categories: thesis or position on the topic, organization, evidence, analysis, extension of thinking, style and voice, and grammar and usage. Please note that for single paragraph constructed responses, organization and extension of thinking will not be scored. Let's discuss the first category, thesis or position on the topic. To score at the proficient level, an analytical thesis must be clearly stated near the beginning of the written response, and the writer will present an original interpretation or idea. This means that the writer has developed an idea independently rather than repeating something discussed in class. An analytical thesis states an interpretation. Usually an interpretation can be disputed. Here's an example of an analytical thesis. In The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck develops Rose of Sharon as a dynamic character whose change at the end of the novel shows that there is always hope. This is an analytical thesis statement because it can be disputed in part or as a whole. Some may believe Rose of Sharon is a static character rather than a dynamic character. Others may say that Rose's change creates a different effect. If you are aiming to be advanced in this category, you will need to develop an evaluative thesis rather than an analytical thesis. An evaluative thesis presents an interpretation of the text along with a judgment of effectiveness. Here's an example. In The Grapes of Wrath, John Steinbeck develops Tom, Ma, and Rose of Sharon as dynamic characters. However, Rose of Sharon's character change at the end of the novel is most effective in developing a sense of hope. The key words for evaluation here are most effective. Several characters' changes are considered in this thesis, but the writer makes a judgment call about the character whose change most effectively develops the theme. The second category is organization. To be advanced in organization, each body paragraph must include a topic transition sentence that clearly shows the relationship between ideas from one paragraph to the next. Each paragraph should begin with a topic sentence that states the main idea of the paragraph, clearly connects to the thesis statement, and includes transitions to demonstrate connections between the ideas in each paragraph. You should avoid topic sentences that summarize or describe. Statements of summary will receive a beginning score. Let's look at a few examples and determine if these sentences are actual topic sentences or statements of summary. Rose of Sharon is the daughter of Ma and Pa Jode. This is a fact from the novel, so it is summary. Rose of Sharon is a selfish, complaining character throughout most of her family's journey to California. This is a true topic sentence. It presents an idea that could be disputed. Some may not characterize Rose of Sharon as selfish and complaining. Here's another one. Rose of Sharon has a baby that dies. This is a statement of summary, not a topic sentence. Let's do one more. After the death of Rose of Sharon's baby, she undergoes a character change that leads her to become motherly and selfless. This is a great analytical topic sentence. The next category on the rubric is evidence. To be proficient here, the writer should incorporate a combination of paraphrasing and direct quotes from the text to provide evidence to support the thesis. Paraphrasing means that you put the evidence in your own words while maintaining the original meaning. A direct quote will use the exact words from the text. Most of your evidence should be direct quotes. The key difference between proficient and advanced is the phrase strong and convincing evidence. Strong and convincing evidence will clearly support both your topic sentence and your thesis before you have even added any analysis. Strong and convincing evidence means that you have chosen the best evidence from the text to support your topic sentence and thesis. Analysis is how you explain the connections between your topic sentence and your evidence, and then make connections back to your thesis. Analyze means to break down. To analyze your evidence, you should identify the literary device demonstrated in the evidence. Then, explain how this evidence supports the main idea presented in your topic sentence. At the end of the paragraph, explain how all of the examples taken together support your thesis. Here's an example of evidence and analysis together in a paragraph. Steinbeck personifies the dust storms that ravage the farmland in the Midwest to show that the storm defeats the crops. The wind raced faster over the land, dug cunningly among the rootlets of corn, and the corn fought the wind with its weakened leaves until the roots were freed by the prying wind, and each stalk settled wearily sideways. The words cunningly and prying imply that the dust storms target the weak rootlets, knowing they will be easily destroyed. As the stalks fall wearily to the ground, Steinbeck creates an image of a battle between the weather and the cultivation of the land. The literary device personification is identified in the first sentence. After the quote, the writer breaks down how the words cunningly and prying create personification of the dust storms by giving them the human quality of motivation or intention. The writer ends by connecting this example of personification to the bigger effect of a battle between the weather and man's desire to cultivate the land. An extension of your thinking is a way of presenting a real-world connection to your ideas. Usually, your extension of thinking should appear in your conclusion, although some students like to include it in their last body paragraph. Explain how your overall idea connects to the real world in some way. This could be a broad connection to human nature or modern life, or it could be a more personal connection. Style and voice is all about writing for your particular audience and creating an enjoyable reading experience for them. When you consider sentence structure, be sure that you incorporate a variety of sentence types and lengths. Revise to make sure all sentences clearly say what you want them to say. The idea in each sentence should connect or build on the idea in the previous sentence. And beware of fragments and run-on sentences. Diction just means word choice. Avoid slang words, contractions, and vocabulary that is too informal. You want to keep a bit of academic distance between you and your readers. Avoid directly addressing the reader with second-person pronouns, and keep in mind that your entire essay represents what you think, so there is no need to use the phrases "I think" or "in my opinion." Finally, to score proficient in grammar and usage, your writing should be relatively free of errors, with only 1 or 2 errors that cause the reader to stop and reread. Keep in mind that no writer has perfect grammar and never makes mistakes, but you should still proofread, proofread, proofread.